following is a presentation of the National Sim Racing League of America. Enjoy the race. Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and the long winter's break is finally over. We will see and hear the roaring of 40 engines on the racetrack here today. Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season 7 Preseason Thunder, and it is going to basically just be the last painting showcase for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. It's going to be a 45-minute session. And these teams are going to go ahead and test around the racetrack and get ready for what will be one of the biggest seasons in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series history. We got ourselves some drivers who are hoping to make it in. Of course, one of them is already in. Elijah Gordon, Alex Bonsignor, and Nathan Stapleton joining me here today for Daytona Preseason Thunder coverage. And I'll start with Elijah. You're the defending champion of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, so what are you expecting from your team? You have a one-car team, Elijah Gordon Incorporated. Do you think you guys are going to have a good chance at the championship again?
Well, to first off point out, there's a robot in my car, so that's why I'm up here. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what this season holds. I'm really hoping that we can aim for a second consecutive title. It's a long shot, but we'll see what we can do. I mean, I'm really looking forward to what success the EGI is going to have here in the Cup Series, and we'll just have to wait and see if we can play our cards right yet again.
Definitely, it's going to be interesting to see what your team does. Of course, we got Nathan Stapleton as well, and you've never even been in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but I know that this is the ride that you're attempting to go for. But with the way the sign-ups are probably going to be next week, it might be kind of hard to get it, but I do hope you get a ride. And if you do, what are your expectations? I mean, you've won 2 championships on Napa Fan. Do you think you can win a 3rd in the biggest series?
Well, my mindset is if I can even make it into the Chick-fil-A Cup Series is A, be consistent, B, try to get at least 1 win, and C, make it into the chase, and if all those happen, maybe D, get to the Final 4 at Homestead and win the championship.
Well, I will say this, the championship format is different. We do not have the Final 4 anymore. It's the original chase format, so maybe make the chase instead. But that actually hasn't been talked about too much, is the new championship format for season number 7. We are reverting back to the original chase format that NASCAR used in 2004. So the top 10 drivers in points after 20 races will make it onto the chase, and then from there, it is going to be a pure championship race between those 10 chase drivers. So a lot more about consistency this season than it has in prior seasons, and that's what I'm definitely looking forward to, because the champion is most likely going to be the true best driver of the season. Of course, you also got Alex Bonsignor here as well. You've won a couple Chick-fil-A Cup Series races before, and you're the defending Napa Truck Series champion, so I know you're hoping to be in one of these rides most likely. But, how do you think it's going to go for you? Do you think you're going to get a ride, or do you think you're going to go to the Turkey Hill Series possibly?
Well, I mean, I'm hoping to really get a ride here, but, with the big concern going on about how the season's going to go out, it'll kind of just depend. It'll vary. I am hoping, for the most part, that I can be able to get a ride, but if not, I'm perfectly fine with running a season in the Turkey Hill Series. If that does come to it, and I do run the Turkey Hill Series, I'll probably go after the title there and see if I can be able to be getting the triple threat there by winning Napa Truck Series, Turkey Hill Series, and the Chick-fil-A Cup Series.
Definitely looking forward to seeing what happens, especially with you, Nathan, and you, or you, Alex, I should say, because Elijah already has it right. You guys are looking forward to seeing where you guys fall in place for this season, and this season's going to be a very long season. The season's going to be lasting from a few weeks from now, basically, when the Milliold SmoothFest is going to be run all the way to late September, and I will say, big reason why that's going to be the case is, time. I'm a really busy man, and with college and work and everything, it is amazing that I'm able to do this as I am to begin with. But you know what? I'm going to use the time I have wisely and invest it into this series, and I hope you guys definitely enjoy it. And here today, just showing you guys the teams and the cars, and just to have a little fun looking up and looking forward to season number 7 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So we're going to go ahead and start looking at the cars, talking about the teams here. I really don't know where to start, but we might as well start with the guy who's in the booth, Elijah Gordon. This is Elijah Gordon Incorporated, the defending champion of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, returning to the number 5. Of course, since he is the champion of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, he had the option to create his own team, so he is a team owner driver. Only him and Cody Sill were allowed to be owner drivers this season because they won the championship and the All-Star race respectively. So I'm looking forward to seeing what those guys do. Number 39 car, that is the Progress Wrestling 39 Ford for Tanker Motorsports. Alex Tanker, the owner of this team, he drove in Season 4 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and he comes back in Season 7 as an owner. One of the, I believe, 3 Ford teams this season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Number 05, that is Trailblazer Motorsports, the Zaxby's Chevy. And Aiden Shepard is the owner of this team. And I am fairly sure, hopefully the way things will work out, John Arndt is planned to be the driver of this ride. But of course, sign-ups are completely open for everybody. But this ride specifically made out for John Arndt. I'm pretty sure owner Aiden Shepard hoping that he can get this 05 machine. Number 92, this is Friesen Motorsports, one of their 2 entries. Carter Friesen, the owner of the team, the Overton's 92 Toyota. And by the way, I will say there are other schemes for these drivers throughout the season. You guys will see them throughout the season. But these are the primary schemes for all 40 of these full-time cars. So hopefully I can get all that figured out in time for sign-ups and we'll be ready to go. But we'll definitely get it. And we'll have these races with the secondary schemes. Let you guys talk a little bit. So you got all these new teams coming in Season 7, so nobody really knows who's going to be the favorite. Do you think it could be a single-car team or maybe a multi-car team?
Honestly, in my opinion, I think it's going to be in a multi-car team because you look at a lot of these multi-car teams, these big teams that, they're basically fielding extra cars, not only for, just getting drivers the opportunity, but if one driver makes a chase, it's definitely going to give protection to know that there's maybe 1 or 2 more drivers already kind of protecting them to give a good championship hope. But I wouldn't be surprised if a single car team comes out of it, especially like Elijah Incorporated. Elijah win the title last year for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, or last season, I should say. It really helps kind of give that boost that single car teams can do it, but then again you have to rely on what the single car team is. Like Elijah Gordon Inc., I honestly think that even though Elijah's team is good and he's won the title before, I honestly think multi-car teams are more the better option because you have that protection with you if you make the chase, and it'll help fend off championship contenders to where at the end of the day that teammate can end up in the winner's circle or even as the Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion.
Well, another thing to also keep in mind is that EGI, just another thing to kind of keep in mind is that they're basically spread out everywhere, having other stock car leagues, NRLOA being one of them, as well as, like other IndyCar leagues, any other type of stuff, and they can try to gather that information and try to send it over to other parts of the organization, here being one of them. So, I mean, if this EGI team were to pull off the upset of winning the title for a second year in a row, that would be something.
That definitely would. And mentioning that Elijah or EGI has a team spreading out, I can also mention that, yes, there are definitely spread out areas in other stock car leagues. One of those including my mock series. I believe they go to Daytona before Chick-fil-A Cup Series SmoothFest, although I don't think they are, because I think the Clash for the mock series will be the same day as the real Clash. And so, yeah, with data being collected, it can definitely help with these single car teams. But then again, back to the multi-car teams. You don't know if they've also been in separate leagues or not, and also collecting data from over the years. It's kind of a mystery. This is kind of a clean slate, if you would, for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series with having teams of their own being in this. So it's kind of going to really show a different kind of setup and how everything will be ran and performed this year.
It definitely will, and a lot of unknowns going into Season 7, just a ton of them, and that championship format's also another one that really plays into it. It's not the elimination format that we used to have, it's a strict championship format, so consistency is going to be the key throughout this season. And I'm looking forward to seeing, especially with Elijah Gordon Incorporated. They are a single-car team, but that's the defending champion of the series in that number 5. And Elijah Gordon, definitely one of the best drivers to ever race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, no question. So this is the number 34, American Motorsports. Trey Wright, the owner of this team. Number 34, Boy Scouts of America, Ford. And a nice-looking car there. Already went through all those other ones. There's his teammate, or one of the American Motorsports cars, the Order of the Arrow 32 Ford. Daniel McMillan will be piloting the number 75 Hers Dodge for NRLOA Motorsports. I am the owner of that team, by the way, and mainly it is because of reserves. Daniel McMillan, the Rookie of the Year, got a reserve for season number 7. Decided to drive the 75 Hers Dodge in Season 7 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, so definitely looking forward to seeing what Daniel McMillan's going to be doing this season, because if it were not for the chase last year, McMillan would have been the champion.
Yeah, and, with the NRLOA Motorsports, it's a big kind of, almost, as you could say, kind of, because it's NRLOA Motorsports and the organization is NRLOA, I wouldn't say it's more a PR stunt, but more of kind of giving those that had chances at the championship and the title unlock kind of the opportunity to have a chance at the title again. And honestly, I think this team will definitely pull through, not only because it technically in Reelman's term is like a PR stunt, which it isn't. It kind of just gives a lot of those people or drivers that never got the chance to come out of there, or those that have had big accomplishments, right in the seat for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series.
Definitely, and Elijah Gordon and Cody Silk both had the option to drive for this team. They both decided to go with their own teams for this season. Number 99, that is for Titan Fury Motorsports. Igor Barreto, the owner of this team, and the number 99 Red Bull Dodge. This team was originally going to be Chevy. They switched to Dodge, making Dodge the most prominent manufacturer in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season 7 with 14 entries. Ford and Chevy both have 9 entries each, and Toyota has 8, so definitely going to be interesting to see who wins the Manufacturers' Championship. That will be in place for 2018 and Season 7 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Number 26, Sharpie Ford for Durek Motor Racing. Donovan Duthit, the owner of this team. And they're one of the 3 Ford teams driving this season. It's American Motorsports, Durek Motor Racing, and Tanker Motorsports, the 3 Ford teams. Number 12, Xbox Chevy. This is Quintero Racing Incorporated. And Julian Quintero is the owner of this team. I don't know if Quintero has ever driven in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, so kind of a new guy creating a team for this season. And here's Beast Racing, the number 88. The Formula 1 2017 88 Dodge for Beast Racing. Marty Johnson, the owner of this team. And a little note here, Marty Johnson is the defending winner of the Meliello SmoothFest, but he's not returning to Season 7 because he is an owner. And what that's going to do on February 9th when we run the Meliello SmoothFest means that none, or most likely, I don't really think any of the prior winners are going to be in the Meliello SmoothFest, but they could be. They could prove me wrong. But most likely, the Meliello SmoothFest is once again not going to have any prior Meliello SmoothFest winners. That race kind of has a curse to it for some reason. And it happened to Marty Johnson. Didn't think it was going to happen to Marty Johnson, but it did. And I decided to create a team this season, creating kind of a block there for him to join as a driver. But he might be driving in the Turkey Hill Series. I hope he drives in the Turkey Hill Series. Definitely would miss Marty Johnson if he was not on the racetrack throughout most of 2018. Number 37.
Definitely.
Go ahead there.
All right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have seen that jinx before, but who knows? Maybe this season something will come up. And really hoping I can be able to drive for Beast Motorsports come signups because, I've seen this team, or I like the sponsors on it, definitely without a doubt. Not saying to pick favorites, but yeah, I really like the sponsors. I'm hoping to either go for the 9 or the 88 because those are two of my personal favorite video games out there. And if I do go for Beast Racing, then that will be my final season running full-time in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. After that, I will be a owner for it come Season 8, if there is a Season 8.
Well, there definitely will be a Season 8, but it might be a little bit hard being an owner because I will say after Season 7 is done, all of the team owners here, they're going to have the option to return their teams even without winning. So even without winning the Owners' Championship, I should say. So you guys are going to get a good opportunity to return. And I kind of want to keep those same teams rolling from season to season. That's the reason why I'm doing this. So yeah, hopefully get to own a team. Definitely love to see, I don't know, maybe a Boxing or Racing Incorporated or something like that out there on the racetrack. That'd be kind of neat. But let's have to see who returns and what slots are open come Season 8 signups. But that's a while from now. We got Season 7. We've been hyped up on this for a long time. Let's continue on with the cars here. Number 15, Quintero Racing Incorporated. The FIFA-sponsored Chevrolet for this team. Julian Quintero, also the owner of that team as well. We got a big pack right in here. There's another one of the NRLOA Motorsports machines, the Chick-fil-A 77. Of course, Chick-fil-A, the title sponsor of the series, just like with Monster Energy, sponsoring Kurt Busch in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. Got the Chick-fil-A 77, the Dodge Challenger for NRLOA Motorsports. Number 38 for American Motorsports, the Autism Speaks Ford. That team owned by Trey Wright. Here is Mobile One Racing, the number 4. This team is owned by Chase Marks. Chase Marks has never driven in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series before, but there is a heavy, heavy chance that the driver of this car is going to be Trey Bartow, the longtime veteran in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And he has driven the number 4 in every single season, so it would just kind of, something would be off if he wasn't driving the 4. So I am hoping that Trey Bartow gets this ride. It's definitely very possible, and we're just going to have to see if the veteran Trey Bartow can return. Driving the number 4, 83, Derek Hamill, the owner of this car, Hamill Racing Enterprises, the 83 Pepsi Toyota, and ironically, he is right behind the number 40 Coca-Cola Chevrolet. That is owned by Zach Ryan International, the team there.
Yeah, and I have to, honestly, Napa fan, I have to give you hats off for designing some of these cars, like the Coca-Cola one. I really love the Target, number 30, I believe. Yeah, it's the number 30 Target. You really based a lot of these, or a lot of the schemes on Zach Ryan International after some of the Ganassi schemes, and really give you a big hats off to that. You did a really good job making them.
Yeah, those are the Ganassi number schemes right there on the sides of those cars. So in theory, that's the Chip Ganassi Racing in this series. So you'll be rooting for him this season. Number 16. Yeah, why aren't you driving for that team, man? I mean, come on. Number 16, that is Durek Motor Racing, the AT&T Ford Fusion. Donovan Duthit, the owner of this team. The number 9, that is Beast Racing, the Project Cars 2 Dodge. Marty Johnson, the owner of that team there. Here's one team we have yet to talk about yet. Wade Enterprises, the 06 Southwest Dodge. And Wade Enterprises is a 3-car team this season. They could be very strong in the championship fight and in the Owners' Championship as well. You got to think, these teams, with the exception of NRLOA Motorsports, Cody Motorsports, and Elijah Gordon Incorporated, they are going to be battling for the Owners' Championship. And the way the Owners' Championship is going to work is the highest finishing driver is essentially the placeholder for that team in a certain race. So if Beast Racing won, they get the most points out of all the teams in that race. So it's all about what your best car does. Kind of changing it up from the average finish of the cars from your team. The reason why we're doing that, because the single car teams had a major advantage compared to the 3 and 4 car teams last season when we did it, and it really wasn't too fair. But I think this new system's going to be a little bit more fair, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it all shakes out. And here we go, a lot of guys in this one. Already talked about the 05. This is the 35 Sunny D Chevy. As for Zach Ryan International, and Zach Ryan, the owner of this team, and we got some issues out there.
Oh my goodness.
That is the 92, a couple of the Zidell Motorsports machines, the number 7 Chuck E. Cheese's Toyota, and looks like they might have gotten into each other again. And the problem we got here is this is a practice session. The caution does not come out. These cars have no necessary need to stop. So one little thing about this game that I don't like too much, but the Hamill Racing Enterprises 54, Monster Energy on the front of that car, that thing is junk now. And we also had one of the Preseason Motorsports machines get involved, and there he is, 92, Overton's machine. That was one of the Zidell Motorsports machines, the Chuck E. Cheese's number 7. And Justin Zidell, the owner of this team, one of the 3 Toyota teams running this season. We got a lot of smoke here, but I believe things have cleared up. It did split that pack up. I do not believe we actually talked about this guy. This is Cody Still, the All-Star Race winner, so he chose the option to create his own single-car team. And Cody Motorsports, a Chevy team, the number 37 America's Navy U.S. Blue Angels Chevrolet. And definitely looking forward to seeing what the All-Star Race winner is going to do. His second full-time season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He will definitely be in the Meliola SmoothFest, along with Daniel McMillan and Elijah Gordon. Here's one car we have yet to talk about. The number 13 Forza Motorsport Dodge for Titan Fury Motorsports. And Igor Brotto, the owner of that team there. Number 2. This is one of the Beast Racing cars, the last Beast Racing car we have yet to discuss. The NASCAR Heat 2 Dodge, owned by Marty Johnson. It's the other Friesen Motorsports machine, the number 68 Napa Auto Parts Toyota. Friesen Motorsports, their 2-car team. Here's one team we have yet to talk about, North State Racing. I have a feeling about this team for some reason. This is just my inclination. I don't know why. But I have a feeling that they're going to get very strong drivers and have a very good season. The number 25, John Deere Dodge. Davey Johnson, the owner of this team. He's won a couple races in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series before. And, I'm looking forward to seeing what North State Racing can do. I really have a feeling that they're going to be one of the strong teams for some reason. Go ahead and talk if you like to.
Oh. Yeah, it definitely looks like some of the teams this season are going to be very consistent, and as you said before, Napa fan, you have a feeling about this team, And I don't doubt you on that. I mean, I do believe, I do believe, I do believe North State Racing will have some potential that is untapped, and it'll come up out of nowhere and just come up and surprise us.
What do you guys think? I mean, we got another issue on the
Oh,
racetrack.
hey,
16 in the 83 going around there.
round they go. That's unfortunate.
But we actually haven't yet to talk about all the teams yet, so we're going to try to quickly do this so we can actually talk about who we think is going to be strong this season. Tanker Motorsports, number 95, Alaska Airlines Ford. Alex Tanker, the owner of that team. Zach Ryan International, number 30, Target Scheme. And a Chevrolet there. Looking forward to seeing those cars on the racetrack in the races. Like you said, I think I did do a pretty good job on those. They do look pretty nice. Number 64, Wade Enterprises, Verizon Dodge. Nicholas Wade, the owner of that team there. And this is another one of those cars. This one's probably going to be taken before signups even begin. Because of the Champions Reserve that we do have, this car most likely going to be driven by Matt Delio, the Season 4 Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion, driving that number 79. Valvoline's his thing, and he's let me know why this car exists. And I believe Matt Delio will be driving that machine in season number 7. We did discuss number 7 while he was crashing. Here are some other guys we have yet to see. The number 66, this is the other North State Racing machine. Number 66, Cheerwine Dodge. Looking forward to seeing that one on the racetrack. Number 48 car, Zidell Motorsports Panera Bread Toyota. Another one of the Tanker Motorsports machines, the WWE NXT Ford. Number 47, number 33, Lowe's Dodge for Titan Fury Motorsports. The 24, Taco Bell Toyota for Zidell Motorsports. The 22, Walt Disney World Toyota for Hamill Racing Enterprises. The 04 Walmart Dodge for Wade Enterprises. The number 6, we didn't get to this one, the Exide Batteries Ford for Durick Motor Racing. And with that, I believe we have mentioned every driver in the field. Or every car in the field, I should say, because these cars do not have drivers quite yet. So I'm going to let you guys take the mic and give your guys thoughts on who you think is going to be the strong team this season. We went through all these teams. Who do you think is going to be the strong team of the season, the team to beat? We got a lot of them out there, a lot of manufacturers. Who's your pick?
Honestly, I gotta say that I'm gonna have to go with a powerhouse team or a powerhouse manufacturer this season. You look at Dodge; they have a big powerhouse sort of entries on this team. So I don't expect, or I don't think that Dodge is gonna be short on coming up with success. But then again, you also have to think about a lot of the other teams like Ford and Chevrolet. They're gonna really try that, and I almost forgot about Toyota as well. You know, they're gonna try their best to go out there. But in the end, it kind of just all depends on who's better in this case. But honestly, I'm going to have to go with the single car team of Elijah Gordon Incorporated. And I'm also going to have to go with the NRLOA Motorsports because, you know, Elijah Gordon Inc. is a big team. And there goes Elijah.
Right when we were talking about EGI, and that happens.
Well, that's what happens to my car. Stupid robot.
It's just testing. It's why testing exists, so you can get all the cobwebs out, because it's been so long since a lot of these guys have raced. It's been so long since I've recorded a race. I mean, heck, this whole preseason Thunder thing was to get the cobwebs out for me, so that I wouldn't be failing completely when we started Season 7. But, you're right. I do believe Elijah Gordon Incorporated is going to be strong. And, you know, I like what you say about NRLOA Motorsports, of course. But, you know, I look at North State Racing, like I said, as being one of the strong teams. But, to be honest, how do you know? I mean, I think we're not really going to know until we know who's driving for what car. Because we got guys like Jesse Turner, Trey Bartow out there, Matt Delio. Trying to think of some other guys here. Caleb Hoffman's retired, so he's not going to be returning, but I do hear that he's going to be putting in a development driver. Casey Hoffman might be driving one of these things. But there are a lot of drivers out there. I mean, we could possibly see Cameron Garlington's another one. completely forgot. Season 3 champion and defending Daytona 500 winner. Where's he going to end up at? You know, you got to really think about those really experienced drivers, and I really feel like those are going to be the guys to watch out for. And I think a lot of it's going to come down to who drives for what team, and then I think from there we'd be able to tell who we think is going to be the strong team. Of course, the ratings are completely equal, so we kind of make it up as what the strong teams are. But we'll just have to see as it goes along. So what about you, Nathan? You haven't talked like this whole time, so I'm going to let you talk for a while here. Who do you think is going to be the strong team? I'm not going to let you pick Elijah Gordon Incorporated or NRLOA Motorsports because, you know, Alex has talked about those two teams enough already. But what about the other teams? Of the rest of the field, who do you think is going to be the strongest team this season?
Well, one of my teams that I think is going to do good is Beast Racing, with Marty Johnson being the team owner. He's probably he has a lot of experience on this channel, and I think with that experience he can help his 3 drivers give information and possibly do good this season. But I do think as well that North State Racing is going to do good as well with that success with Davey Johnson in the past as well. I do think that Dale Camel Racing and
Hamill
the
Racing
prizes,
Enterprises.
that team could be good if that team can like have good drivers for it. And but like you said, we don't know anything about that until we know who's actually driving the cars. So
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I'm looking at you. I mean, Nathan Stapleton, as a driver, is one of the best drivers who ever raced on Napa Fan, but he's never been in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, so I'm really hoping to see Stapleton in Season 7 for that reason. He could definitely win the Rookie of the Year, too. But the ride I know you were going for was the 54 Monster Energy Dodge, and of course that also has sponsorship from Advanced Auto Parts, and maybe Autism Speaks. I can't remember if he sent me a scheme for that or not. But yeah, I mean, Hamill Racing Enterprises, I mean, I really do, you know, see where you're coming from there. I feel like they're going to have a good chance at possibly getting a good run, but like I said, how do you know? I mean, all these teams, they're completely equal, and it's a strict points championship, so it really could be anybody. But Elijah, I mean, you're the defending champion, so don't pick yourself. But who do you think's got a good chance? I mean, you know how it is to win a championship, so you might be the guy who picks the right team. This team you pick might actually win the championship. Who knows? They might want you to pick them.
I'm not going to be biased here and pick myself.
I knew you wouldn't. You're not allowed to. Alex already did.
Wow, of course not. I'm not going to be biased. But I say probably. Man, this is a toughie. I might say Marty Johnson's team might get it done.
And that's all you're gonna say? Really insightful there.
I'll just leave it at that.
Well, why do you think they're gonna be good, man? I mean, there's gotta be a reason why you're picking them.
Well, they're probably gonna have the. They're probably gonna have the this speed, and definitely gonna probably do what it takes because they got a lot of other Dodge teammates around them.
Definitely, that's definitely something I think even Alex pointed on. Dodge really is a strong manufacturer in this series, and it's actually going to be their first season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series as well. But they got 14 teams, while everybody else has less than 10. So, yeah, I think all those Dodge teams, you know, I just have a feeling they could possibly be very successful. When you talk about Beast Racing, I know two of you, both Nathan and Elijah, picked this team. And, you know, if you have Alex Bonsignor on one of those rides, I was hearing Tristan Allen might be going to the 2. He's going to be trying that machine. Now, Tristan Allen has never won before in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but he's pretty much won everywhere else. And his time is come to win a race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, let me tell you that. So, if they can get those two drivers, I definitely think Beast Racing is going to be successful. But, you know, who knows? I think, that's the whole thing, What we're seeing right now, we haven't even discussed this after 35 minutes in this session. The fastest driver is for Preseason Motorsports. Now, this is with the draft and everything, so maybe not a telltale sign of who's going to be the fastest all season, but the 68 Napa Auto Parts Toyota, which, it's a little ironic that here I am, Napa fan, and the Napa Auto Parts car is fastest. But the Preseason Motorsports machine, as we got another incident on the racetrack. We've seen a lot of those spins, those outside lane cars trying to come down to the pit lane and clipping these guys. It's happened quite a bit today, but really haven't had too many major accidents. We did have that one with the Preseason Motorsports machine, but other than that, it's been pretty calm out here, which is great. But still, Preseason Motorsports, the fastest team, with the number 68 Napa Auto Parts Toyota. How about Trailblazer Motorsports and the 05 Zaxby's Chevy? That's a single-car team right there, running second. Two of the Zach Ryan International cars, third and fourth, the number 30 Target Chevrolet and number 35 Sunny D Chevrolet. And then you guys were really pointing out Beast Racing. The number 2 NASCAR Heat 2 Dodge is fifth fastest. Got NRLOA Motorsports, the Valvoline 79, 6th on the board. Tanker Motorsports and the 39 Progress Wrestling Ford is 7th. The 25 North State Racing John Deere Dodge is 8th. The 92, the other Preseason Motorsports machine, Overton's Toyota, is 9th. And another NRLOA Motorsports machine, the Daniel McMillan driven 75 Hers Dodge, rounds out the top 10. And we still got a long ways to go here in the preseason Thunder testing session, but there's a good chance that's how it's going to stay throughout this session right here.
Back, had to step away for a second. Looking like so far throughout this session, seems that a lot of these teams, especially with the number 68 Napa Auto Parts Toyota, it seems like a lot of them, especially starting in Daytona, looks like it's going to be a little bit interesting for Daytona, but what pans out for the rest of the season is going to be a little bit kind of strange, should I say, in the least, because a lot of tracks like Daytona, Talladega, those are the powerhouses where you know that anyone could have a chance at winning, but the rest of them, it kind of goes down to who's the better team.
It kind of goes down a lot, sorry interrupting, but it kind of goes down to qualifying, and that's going to be something new as well. We're going to be broadcasting the qualifying sessions, so practice sessions will be determining the starting lineup. And when we go to a lot of tracks like Bristol, Martinsville, qualifying is essentially what determines who wins the race. So that's what I think, a lot of people should definitely watch out for. It's going to really play into the championship, especially when we get to tracks like that. But yeah, we'll just have to see. I think it's going to come down to who's strong in qualifying. You can win the Daytonas, you can win the Talladegas, but if you're good at those places where qualifying is a big factor, I think you're going to have a good chance of winning the championship, because those races are tough to win from anywhere other than first. So it's going to be interesting. Same case for guys, or for tracks like Mosport. We're going to be going back there. We raced there in Season 3, and Road America as well. Riverside's also on the schedule, race 4 of the season. That could be a very good race for the pole sitter in that one. We're back to Martinsville. Of course, we got Bristol on the schedule. And even Watkins Glen is another place where qualifying is a major factor, so definitely watch out for the qualifying.
Yes, and I see that we have Eldora as the All-Star race, which I definitely am super excited about entering for that one.
Definitely. The All-Star race was held at Eldora last year. That's when Cody Sill won. And we're going back there again. Of course, no damage on these on the cars, no cautions either. So it's a very interesting race, just to say at the least. But it's also a good one, and it's going to be very fun to see who wins the All-Star race this year, but that's a little ways from now. It's going to be in July when we get that race going on. We got a lot in between now and then.
And while we were kind of talking at the moment, Mr. Top Dragster joined us in the booth.
Good evening.
We'll go ahead and let you talk about these teams. With about 5 minutes left, so you're kind of new. You've never been in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series before, but still,
Nope.
good possibility you could be in for this season. And we were talking about all the teams. I did list all those teams there in the chat for you guys, so you can see them. But what do you think? Who do you think are going to be the strong teams this season? We got a lot of new teams. All these teams are completely new. Who do you think is going to have the advantage?
Well, let's see. I might need to go into that, actually, the hangout here and see what we've got. Well, one thing is for sure that if I could just, yeah, Elijah Gordon Incorporated, obviously, it's only one car, but gotta imagine that they're going to be in good shape along with NRLOA Motorsports. Cody Motorsports and Zydo Motorsports. I'm looking at both of them to be pretty strong, especially Cody Motorsports. Cody Sill is a veteran. Again, I know I'm listing off some one-car teams in that, but despite them being one-car teams, that, I mean, you can kind of focus all your effort on just one car instead of three, so that could actually benefit them in the long run.
Kind of contradicting point of views there, because Alex said that the three-car teams would probably have the advantage over the single-car teams, but like we've said, you know, who knows? You know, all these cars are equal, and I think a lot of it just comes down to the name that's on the car, and the name on this car, and a lot of you guys have pointed it out, Elijah Gordon Incorporated, and there's a good chance we could see back-to-back champions. It almost happened, I do believe.
Absolutely. I'm just jumping back and forth. I'm jumping back and forth between a few rides that I'm possibly looking at, because obviously with how quickly your sign-ups go, you got to know which car you're going to have in advance. You're going to want to try and get in advance.
Yeah.
And maybe even have an emergency backup. so like in the comment, what I might do, just a little advanced warning even, is like I might say, I want this car. If taken, I want this one, that type of thing. It's just a little word of advice to anyone else.
It can always get really confusing though when people do that, and
It
for you
can,
guys
yeah.
out there, this is just goes to anybody. This goes to everybody, I should say. Please be patient with me. You know, it's going to be very tough. I know a lot of you are going to probably be disappointed at the end of the night, but that's why the Turkey Hill Series exists. And, you know, for you guys who know you can't make it February 2nd, just let me know, and I'll pop you in a ride for the Turkey Hill Series so you're not left without a ride. Because, like I said, the whole schedule is going to last so long. It's going to take a very long time to get it done. And we're going to go a long time without having any sign-ups for a new series. So that's why we got the Turkey Hill Series. There is a slight chance we might have a third series as well, possibly run. Maybe the Hers Dash Series, just to kind of act as an extra set of rides for you guys in case we have a lot of guys miss out. But
Is that
yeah,
the Chuck E. Cheese number 7?
Hmm?
Is that the Chuck E. Cheese number 7 I see?
it is.
Okay, good to know.
Actually, already crashed in this session once. We've had a couple issues here tonight. Of course, you'll be able to rewatch it when it comes up on Friday, but still,
Okay. The reason I
that's
asked
number
was-
7. That was actually the last full-time car I painted, I do believe, and Zydo Motorsports there. The Chuck E. Cheese is number 7.
The reason I asked was because I've gotten a lot of criticism on the Chuck E. Cheese car in the Barrett Jackson series, which I'm doing. This is the number 5, and I've been looking into some alternates possibly for the rest of the season, and I just wanted to see what you had come up with there, and
Well,
I think it's pretty sweet.
that's
So I might, who knows, I might just copy that thing.
Go right ahead. I don't care.
Although maybe I'll put the mouse on the hood. Yes, I know that creeps everyone out. That's the point.
And that's Top Dragster.
I'm riding a bit of a high right now. Just won an online race for my first ever, so I'm I'm a little jazzed right now.
Looks like we got some damage on the 32 here. That's an interesting thing there. But still, you know, it's just a testing session, kind of get you guys used to these cars going around the racetrack, and we just got a new fastest car out here. The number 2 NASCAR Heat 2 Dodge to the top. That's for Beast Racing, and I know a couple of you guys said that Beast Racing, they were going to be one of the stronger teams. Well, they're looking pretty fast right now with that number 2 machine.
Yeah, I was about to go in and say that my third team of choice would have been Beast Racing, but of course Nathan he took that from me, and I definitely don't disagree with Nathan's explanation there of why Beast Racing would be so good this season. I would have said the same thing, and it's definitely proving here in this preseason Thunder testing.
Two cars that are also in this pack that I'm noticing, the 54 and the 22. Those are both for Hamill Racing Enterprises. I think that's the name of the team. They're a three-car team, and they've got multiple sponsors. They've got a lot of sponsors for this series. So I would say that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with as well.
Definitely be interesting. And like I said, when we get the drivers in these cars, I think that's when we're kind of going to know who's going to at least be expected to do well. You know, when it comes
I'm curious,
to
who's driving these right now?
Yeah, let's just go back to Elijah Gordon. I don't know how many of you guys actually remember Elijah Gordon in Season 5. He drove the 24. I believe he finished last in the points, or somewhere close to that. He switched over to the 5 in Season 6, and he won the NRLOA 500. He won Kentucky 2 races later. He got into the chase and won the championship. So it's
Was
up
that
and
still
down in this
was that also for his own
with
team?
the championship format that we have. You know, the old chase format, consistency is going to be the key. It's all about getting those good runs in these races, getting those points, and let's have to see if Elijah Gordon can keep the consistency. I think we're going to be focusing on Elijah Gordon a lot this season.
I mean, if that car, if how fast that car was going there is any indication, even though he's coming in now, if that speed right there is any indication, yeah, that that 5 is going to be quick, and obviously Gordon, veteran,
14th.
see what he'll be able to do.
14th fastest. Of course, you know, they're all in the draft right now. They're all pretty much around the same time, so really not much of a determining factor on who's going to be good, I don't think. But still, I think we kind of can all agree, and even the man himself, that Elijah Gordon might just be the favorite again. But we'll have to see where the other guys come in, like Jesse Turner, Matt Dalio, Trey Bartow. I think those guys are going to definitely be big factors as well. But that does it for us here. And the number 2 for Beast Racing, the fastest in preseason Thunder here at Daytona for the Season 7 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. The number 68 for Friesen Motorsports, second fastest. The 05 for Trailblazer, third fastest. The 30 for Zach Ryan International, fourth fastest. And Cody Motorsports, the 37 driven by Cody Sill, was fifth fastest. So great run for that single-car team. Definitely finding some speed here at Daytona here today. The rest of the numbers right there. You guys know, at least the team owners know which ones are yours. And of course, you guys will, throughout the season, figure out which car is on which team, all of that. And I know a lot of you guys are definitely looking forward to having your name next to one of these numbers throughout the season. So I will say this now. I think I only told one guy. I know you guys might not necessarily be too happy about this, but throughout the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season 7, we're most likely not going to have any co-commentators. And the reason why? Because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, you know. We get all these guys in here. Elijah Gordon, he's a championship contender. We'll have Nathan, we'll have Alex, and we'll have Andrew all in. And I don't want them to find out what happens before the race comes out. So most likely it's just going to be me for a lot of these Chick-fil-A Cup Series races. But I will say this. We got a lot planned for the Turkey Hill Series on the co-commentator side. We're going to have a drivers-only broadcast on the Turkey Hill Series side. That's going to be pretty fun, and hoping you guys might be part of that. The Turkey Hill Series is going to be interesting because what we're going to do, and I think I've tried to explain this a couple times before, is the drivers who are eligible, meaning the drivers who are not team owners in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Of course, team owners, they can be in the Turkey Hill Series if they decide to drive in that series. But those drivers who are not team owners in the Turkey Hill Series, they can move up to one of the uncharted rides in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, depending on how well they do in a certain race, and have a chance to possibly make a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race. So it'll go like this. In race 1 of the Turkey Hill Series, there'll actually be, it's really complicated, but there'll be a certain amount of drivers. There'll be 8 drivers. They'll be picked from that race, depending on their performance, and I'll explain how they'll be picked in a moment. That will move over to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series in race 2 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series and qualify for that race the next weekend. How they're going to be chosen, there are going to be groups of drivers, and whoever's the highest finishing driver of that certain group will get that certain car. Each group will be tacked onto a car throughout the season, and one driver cannot race multiple cars different cars, I should say, throughout the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season 7 as Uncharted's. The other thing is, you might be wondering, well, who's going to be qualifying for the Daytona 500? Well, after we do signups, the 8 winningest drivers who sign up that are eligible driving the Turkey Hill Series will qualify over and attempt the Daytona 500 in season number 7 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So that's how we're going to do that. So yeah, I know if you guys don't understand it all the way, I understand it's a little complicated, but I got it in my mind. I'll make sure it works out, and I definitely hope you guys enjoy it. So thank you guys very much for joining me. I know you guys are excited for season 7. I'll let you guys tell me, what are you most excited about in season 7 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series?
Honestly, I am most excited about the first points race of the season being with the 500-mile race at Daytona. I honestly think that going through that one and getting it started, that'd be amazing to see, and just to see everyone fighting for what would be this older chase format of the 2004 season to be consistent, make sure to get in before then. I honestly think that's going to be very, very interesting to see the first points race of the season.
I can agree to that for sure. Long season. Interested to see who's going to get what ride. I'm going to see which one I can get. Again, I have a couple numbers in mind, but we'll have to see on that. But I'm just excited to see what the season is going to bring.
And like, I've always wanted to race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and hopefully I can. But if I do make it, or if I don't, I just can't wait to see all 40 of these cars onto the track for the Daytona 500, because these cars look amazing.
I'm assuming Elijah's not here anymore, so we're going to go ahead and skip him there. But still, I'm sure he's excited to defend his championship.
I'm still here.
Season number 7. He is still there, but you know, he's just not paying attention. So you're messing me up, man. Come on, you're the president. Get with it.
I'm paying attention, buddy.
Well, how come it took you like a minute to respond to me?
I think this season's going to be exciting. Enough said.
But anyways, what are you excited for? You know, going into season 7.
Just the fun and excitement.
That's it.
That's it. You know, that's Elijah for you guys. You know.
He doesn't want to spoil it too much.
There's going to be a lot of fun and excitement. There's definitely going to be a lot of fun and excitement for Season 7. And I think a big thing that a lot of guys are going to enjoy are the custom cars. It took me up to Season 7 to finally do it. But, I mean, it really looks good. And I'm glad we've finally been able to actually do this. I've always kind of wanted to do a custom car series. But, you know, it wasn't just me. A lot of you guys painting cars. I know Caleb did a lot. I know you did a lot, Andrew. Elijah did some. We had Seth Cole, and I actually haven't shown a lot anybody, as a matter of fact. He did a few of the throwbacks that we're going to do for the throwback race in at Darlington. He did an amazing job on them, by the way, as well. So I'm really looking forward to you guys seeing those machines. But yeah, thank you to everybody who painted cars. It means a lot. It helped me out. I mean, like I've said it plenty of times. I'm a very busy man with college and work. And, you know, I could be starting an internship here soon. It's just going to be all this jazz, and I still got to do this. But you know what? I love doing it. I'll find a way to do it, and I'm glad I can be here with you guys doing this series, the 7th season that we've done. It's been around a while, and I have no plans of ever stopping it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it brings here for 2018. But thank you guys very much for watching. And 2 weeks from now, the engines will be roaring officially with the Mellow Yellow SmoothFest from Daytona. Of course, a week from now, that's the big day for everybody. Really big day for me. Signups for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season number 7. And pure anxiety for me. 7 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Napa Fan. So please be patient, man. This is probably the most anticipated season I've ever done. And just bear with me. I'm trying. try. But thank you guys very much for watching. On behalf of Alex Bonsignor, Andrew Miller, Nathan Stapleton, and Elijah Gordon, I'm Napa Fan. Thank you guys very much for watching once again, and I will see you guys later.
See you later, folks.
Bye.